Hello and welcome to the Soul Sync podcast. This is a special episode where we're joined by the wonderful medium and tutor Adam Berry. Now, if you haven't listened to Adam's episode yet, you can go back and hear all about his story. And it's the episode directly just behind this one. And if you've already listened to that, then welcome back. Adam's been a delight to grace us with his very famous sitting in the power meditation. So, Adam, thank you for coming on to the Soul Sync again.
Thank you.
Just to let everyone know from the beginning, if you the first time you're listening to this, you can just listen the whole way through. But after this, if you want to keep going back and listening to it again and again and again, you after this, there will just be the meditation without the intro, so you don't have to keep remembering where you were in the meditation. So, Adam, to start off with, you have become very well known for your sitting in the power meditation. Tell us, first of all, about the group and how this kind of got started. I know you mentioned it in the episode, but it's an interesting story and it's very relevant now we're here doing it.
Yeah, well, sitting in the power was introduced to me by a wonderful tutor that's now in the spirit world, Glynn Edwards. And it's probably from that is the foundation of my passion of sitting in the power, and that was to develop mediumship. From my understanding and my perspective, I thought the more that I could sit in the power, the more that I could attune my mediumship, and I could get this wonderful communication from the spirit world to be able to help people. And do you know what? I must have spent years trying to search for this power, searching outside of myself, when really it was always within and around me. And with that knowledge, it's sort of become a real passion of mine for other people to be able to acknowledge that power within them, to be able to, whatever it is that they want to do, whether it's to unfold their mediumship, whether it's to find inspiration, just remembering that power, because all it is remembering, because it is within and around us. But when I was running a church, Rottenstall Spiritualist Centre, I was the only one that had education at the time on the committee, being the president. And I just kept getting this feeling, this compulsion and inspiration, is probably the better word, inspiration to bring people to the church to sit in the power. And if we get people to sit in the power, get the committee to sit in the power, and the power of spirit fills the church, then the rest will be inspired of what to do next. So it was really to acknowledge the power of spirit in the church. And do you know what? I did it for in the church on a Monday evening. People used to come to the church, and it was quite successful. Even coming out on those cold nights, they'd come out on a Monday evening. And I did want to get it onto social media, onto Facebook, but I was a bit technophobic, and I didn't want it to detract from the people that was in the actual church. So then, obviously, we got propelled into lockdown, and we all got forced online. And do you know what? It was probably the making of sitting in the power for me, in some ways, because it sort of went international on Facebook. It was really supporting the church because people would donate to Rottenstall for just attending. So it was a good way of supporting Rottenstall at the time. And it just grew and grew. And so, yeah, it just grew and grew. And then eventually I left Rottenstall, and I started to feel that, this should be an online spiritual community that supports physical spiritual communities. So anybody that attends, whether they're in America, in Europe, wherever, because there's been people touching in from all over the world. It's been amazing. And obviously they have all their own spiritual communities, churches, centres, or whatever. And it just felt that it was important for them to donate to their own communities, support them. And, if they were part of a spiritual community that was quite wealthy or whatever, or didn't need support, then is there somewhere that needed support? Then send it there. No, my time is free, but please donate to your own communities because it's really important, because they are the light and the service to the community and to the world, so they are places of light, and they need that support. And that's where it's sort of come from. And I've, it's always been a place, I like to call it the spiritual gym. It is, it's a place that I just hold. I love hosting it, and I just guide people into their own experience, because that relationship with the power is their own personal experience, and whatever is needed for their soul, whatever they are, who they present themselves to the world, whether it is mediumship, whether it is speaking, whether it is creativity, it's all there to be awakened, to unfold. Sometimes it's known or unknown, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, we spoke so much in the podcast, and do you know what? I didn't touch on half of the stuff because it went.
I know you didn't. I know. I remember you said there was a lot that we didn't manage to unpack.
I know, and one thing I'd like to say about sitting in the power, and I know for sure this is to do with sitting in the power and me hosting and being part of it, because whilst I'm hosting, I'm part of it, part of this collective process of everybody's experience, and I can feel it. It feels different every week. There's no sitting in the power that's ever the same. Even though it's the same concept of expansion, it's the same concept of awareness. But it's like I've just explained to the class now, because I've just left a sitting in the power now, because it is Monday night. And I've just said, you're different this week to what you were last week. And your needs are different for what's to present itself for the week ahead. And the power knows this because it's intelligent. And whatever is needed for your soul, whatever pathway you are to tread on, it's always there in a positive way when we acknowledge it. We can't be within the power all the time because it's impossible, because we'd have to be in the mountains somewhere away from people, because our sensitivity would just be incredible. And and that's what it is. We're actually strengthening our auric field. We're expanding our the soul emanation. So and that's why I like to call it the spiritual gym, because we are strengthening that sensitivity for the attunement, but we are blending and remembering that great power of life. And once we remember that great power of life, then that's the empowerment of our own lives, to take us forward. So it's, it's been, for me, some of the things I've touched on. Now, obviously, we spoke about the book. I wrote poetry, and but when I started doing, not started doing sitting in the power, it's always been during, because it's been going on for the last 4 years. But I say sitting in the power inspires me to dare to do something different. So I started writing songs. I started singing, something that was never ever in my comprehension. And again, the conscious mind saying, why do you think you can do that? You're in your 40s, why would you've never done that before, why would you start doing that now? And you know what, like I said to you, Jason, I took that plane to Spain and got a singing teacher, Janet Jackson, not the Janet Jackson, but but started to learn how to sing, and that was like, gosh, that's so out of my comfort zone. But it was all to write more, and it was the inspiration led to more inspiration and more creativity, and I was following the power. That's what I was doing. So it's a lot more than just communicating with the spirit world, because if you think about it, like through poetry, through writing, through speaking, you're going to touch people in different ways, on different levels. So it is about that inspiration, following that.
I think you sum that up really beautifully as well, because I think sometimes when I do these, people think that this is only to connect with the spirit world, but actually it can be for any form of inspiration. And what I found myself we're sitting in the power is I will have those light bulb moments, which we all love, where suddenly I figure out a solution or something comes to me. And it's one of those moments because it's not heavy. It's not like a thought. It's just that spark of inspiration. And I think what you summed up so eloquently there was that once you turn the tap on your inspiration and, then it just kept going and going. And, I think this is a wonderful meditation for anyone to do. On the subject of your group, if you want to go to Adam's group, which is on every Monday at 7 p.m. UK time, I'll put the details and the link in the show notes. So you don't need to worry about trying to remember. It'll be all there for you afterwards. So Adam, I think you wrote a poem, which, about sitting in the power, and you read this beautiful poem to me before we even started. And it really summed it all up in the most wonderful way. So we could not get started before hearing this beautiful poem. So, please do share it with us.
I will do. Just before we start, though, I just wanted to mention, because you said sitting in the power meditation. And, there's a difference between sitting in the power and meditation. It's sort of two different disciplines. So, whereas I see meditation as kind of a passive experience and sitting in the power as an active experience. And I've sort of come to terms with people are just going to call it a sitting in the power meditation. Because,
do you know why I think they do that as well? Because to someone that's very new to this, if they saw sitting in the power, they'd be complete. And I guess the closest thing that it aligns to is a meditation. But I think just to expand on that a bit more, because I think you bring up a very valid point there. Yeah. Meditation, in my mind, you could tell me if we agree on this. We don't always agree on the soul sync with every guest, but meditation to me is what I use to quieten down my mind and become a bit of a kind of clear vessel, to get rid of all the general chatter of my mind. And the sitting in the power then is very separate to that. That's then used to, strengthen the aura and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. It's very similar, but I just simply, with meditation, it's sort of going within and it's contemplative, it's visual. It can be visual. You can go on a journey within that to down country lanes and all sorts of different things where I believe you sort of go inward. I feel like it's a passive place, visualization. It's really good for the mind in some ways and like you said, it's and for quietening. Whereas sitting in the power is an experience. To me, it's an experience. You're becoming, you're expanding, you're aware. There's no visualization within it. It's everything that's said is to sensitize the experience of who you are and what you're experiencing. So you're becoming aware. So it's it is different, but and I do actually in my classes. I just did it with my group last week. I do a meditation versus sitting in the power. So I take them through a meditation and then I'll take them into sitting in the power to show them the difference. So
that's very interesting.
But there's so many different views and perceptions on it as well. And someone will be listening to this and go, what a load of rubbish he's saying, but and some people will agree, some people resonate, but because some people class their meditation as sitting in the power, so we've got all these different phrases, different terminologies. So I'm just respectful within that, but this is my belief and my understanding because, whatever I've found and what my relationship to the power is what I'm expressing to you, what I express to my group on a Monday evening. So that is my understanding to help them find their relationship with that, which is always ever evolving, ever changing. And I think I said in the podcast, what I believe today may be different what I believe tomorrow and so on. And I'm always open to that change. And I believe the power does influence us to change within that, because it's constantly moving and we're always constantly changing. That's why we've got the eternal progress, which starts now. And, we are always a works in progress, always moving, evolving, and understanding. And I don't think we truly understand everything completely, because there's so many facets to everything. We just come to an understanding that resonates with us for that time. And I wrote a piece on the soul once, and I think it was while I was sat with a friend, and I was in that deep altered state, and I spoke these words, and it was near enough saying that no one really knows the soul, and anyone that does say that they know the soul, they can't know the soul, because we can all get to a point in our life where we feel that everything makes sense in that one moment. I've lived my life to this point here and now, and I know everything. I know why I'm here.
You make a very good point there. You do make a very good point there, because I have those moments, and then you go into 2 days' time and you feel complete confusion.
Exactly.
What's happening to me? I don't know. And I think what you're saying about who you are today is not who you are tomorrow. It's so true. And sometimes when you sort of think really deeply about these things, it can absolutely blow your mind. You start getting into I've been there many times where I go down rabbit holes of even questioning what time is. But we will save that for another time, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, I guess without further ado, Adam, I'm going to hand over to you for your most wonderful sitting in the power experience.
Okay. Do you want me to do the poem first?
Yes. Do you know what? Yes. Sorry. Do you know what? I'm getting so caught up, everybody, in the experience of being with Adam, because I've got the whole experience. I'm looking at him. But anyway, yes. Please tell us the poem first.
Okay. So this is Sit in the Power. We start from within, in your power and light, the source you were born with, a spirit so bright, acknowledging an expansion beyond the physical, becoming your dimension of all that's possible, feeling at one with the room that you're in, illuminating it fully with the spirit within. Awareness of expansion grows outwardly, from inside blends outside to all things earthly. In nature, the wind, moon and rain, a flower, the ocean, the sun or sand grain, the environment you are from soil to sky, a beauty we are with the sentient eye. Awareness grows further with worlds within worlds, dreams within dreams of lives still untold, a world of intelligence, love and compassion, where people in spirit share in their spiritual fashion of the things they have learned from this world to the next, helping us understand and to do our best. They encourage us with a unique pathway of the soul, as our awareness grows beyond the spirit world. In a sacred space that holds everything together, the architect, the source, the ultimate power, the brightest light you could ever imagine, the greatest love you can always rely on. A place of no beginning, middle or end, an eternity beyond that which we can't comprehend. But it starts from within, this power beyond all doubt. You are never disconnected, as you cannot live without. It's just the conscious mind that divides and separates. It's just remembering that place when life can suffocate. Because acknowledging this oneness and divine connectedness unfolds the faculties, the talents of your soul's purpose. You strengthen your senses and awaken your potential. Whatever the intention, is fundamental. So when you get a moment, a minute, or an hour, give yourself the greatest gift of sitting in the power. There we go.
Well, thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. So we have come to that time where we are going to start the sitting in the power experience. Adam, I will now very gratefully hand over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So as always with sitting in the power, what we do first is just relax the physical body. And we do this, just closing your eyes and just focusing on the breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. And on each in-breath and out-breath, just allowing a sense of peace and relaxation to flow from the top of your head, down into your neck and into your shoulders. And allow that peace and relaxation to flow down your arms and into your hands, relieving any stresses, any strains, any tension. As on each in-breath and out-breath, that peace and relaxation flows down your spine, as it flows down your chest and into your tummy muscles. Just feeling that peace, feeling that harmony, as it flows into your hips, down through your legs, into your ankles, and down to your feet. As on each in-breath and out-breath, that flow of peace, relaxation and harmony circulates your physical body, bringing a stillness to the body as it enables the mind to start to quieten down. As this is the preparation, this is your foundation of your spiritual experience you're about to embark upon. And to start this experience, we must go within to that light and the power of the Spirit within you, which is where your solar plexus is, where you get those feelings, emotions, the butterflies, the joy, the anxiety. This is your power point. This is your light and the Spirit within, as this is where your soul resides. And on each in-breath and out-breath, that light, that power, that Spirit within starts to become more expansive, shines brighter, and on each in-breath and out-breath, your awareness of the Spirit that you are, the beauty that you are, shines out as you become bigger than your physical body. On each in-breath and out-breath, the awareness of this light and this power illuminates the whole of the room that you're in. So you become all and everything that is within the room, a oneness. The beauty that you are fills the room. Just be aware of any feelings of this beauty that you acknowledge, this light that you are, this power that you are. As now on each in-breath and out-breath, our awareness expands outside of the room into the power of nature. A nature beyond what the eyes can see. As you are the flowers, you are the trees, you are the plants, you are the trickle of the streams, you are the flow of the rivers, as you are the power of the waves in the ocean. You are the wind, you are the rain, you are the sun, you are the power of the moon. You are the soil and the earth, as you are the breathtaking views from the mountain tops. You are the clouds in the endless skies. And as the beauty of nature impours into you, the beauty of you impours into nature, a oneness. And on each in-breath and out-breath, our awareness takes us to remember worlds within worlds. Worlds within worlds, also known as the spirit world. And all those friends, inspirers that have gone before us all reside here, but are just here in observation, as they know and loved you here within this world, they certainly do from the next. And they understand your unique pathway of the soul, and they support this, they encourage this, they love you. And you feel the intelligence. You feel the experience. And you feel the love. And with all that love, all that celebration, all that excitement of worlds within worlds, it's now time on each in-breath and out-breath to shine the brightest that you can ever possibly imagine. As now the spirit within you acknowledges the oneness, the wholeness and connectedness of the Great Spirit, the universe, God, the Creator, the Source, however you perceive it to be, you are it. And you no longer know where it starts or you end, because you and it are one and eternal. And as you acknowledge this great power that you are, the soul, which is the vehicle of your spirit, ignites and awakens all that is known or unknown to you within your talents and potential, awakening your pathway, awakening your purpose. As now you are aware of a pure awareness, a pure consciousness. The sacred of all sacredness is here and now, in a place and time that is timeless. As this is your time with the divine, a soul time with the divine. where you are open to divine knowledge, a divine understanding. All of the answers to your questions about life are here. Nobody knows you better than your own soul. You are within the place of change and transformation, of inspiration, of creativity. You are whatever your intention is to be. So here we sit, here we acknowledge, to allow the soul of you to become the best of you. As this great power, this great light that you acknowledge and remember, that is always within and around you, ignites your soul with the service of humanity, for you to share that light of service in the world. With the expression of your soul. So just take this moment to blend, to acknowledge, to continue to remember this place of home, this place of love that is always available. And just allowing yourself to go a bit deeper. And to go deeper, we must surrender. Surrender to deepen this experience. I trust Spirit. I trust Spirit. I trust Spirit that I'm exactly where I need to be within my life. And I trust Spirit, whatever is needed for my soul is being given to my soul. As you are the light of service to this world, embrace it. As now, on each in-breath and out-breath, we just start to become aware of the room that was filled with the beauty of our spirit within. Just bringing your awareness back to the room. As on each in-breath and out-breath, bringing yourself back to your physical body. The vehicle of your human experience, the foundation of the spiritual experience. And on each in-breath and out-breath, Just bringing the physical back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, just opening your eyes. And just always knowing that this power is always within and around you, always sustains you, is here tomorrow as it's here today, and will be here in weeks to come as it sustains you for eternity. And knowing that within this remembrance, it helps every aspect of your life. Just even by remembering once a day, just by the breath takes you there in a second. And knowing that you are that light of service, just by being within someone's presence, in remembrance of this power, has the potential to change not only your life, but the lives of others.